So perhaps a milestone in the push for accountability. For the first time, the State Department has revoked the visa of a foreign student going to school here in the U.S. linked to, quote, Hamas supporting disruptions. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, posted this. Those who support designated terrorist organizations, including Hamas, threaten our national security. The United States has zero tolerance for foreign visitors who support terrorists. Violators of U.S. law, including international students, face visa denial or revocation and deportation. Brooke Goldstein, Executive Director of the Lawfare Project. And Brooke, good morning to you. They screened about 100,000 student visas. What do you think of the move so far? What comes of this?
Well, I applaud the Trump administration for doing this. It's been a long time coming, and I think the ask is just for all of this to be expedited. Look, every country has rules governing visa revocation. In the EU, you can get your visa revoked if you're violating the public order or if you can't prove that you have the financial means to sustain yourself. In the United States, it's exactly the same. There's nothing controversial if you commit a crime or if you even engage in acts of moral turpitude. You can have your visa revoked. Being in this country is a privilege. It's not a right. And I am representing dozens of students across this country in lawsuits against universities and colleges who are experiencing systemic civil rights violations. And a lot of it is stemming not just from foreign students, but also from foreign funding. So this is an incredible first step. And the next step really is to see what is the rot going on in our schools, because guess what? It's not just foreigners. There was a report that came out, an American student at Georgetown University whose father is a member of the Hamas foreign terrorist group, a designated terrorist group, and who on her own student profile brags that she worked for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Gaza, which we all know is Hamas. So again, this is a great first step. It is much needed. It is perfectly legal, and it should be carried out expeditiously.
I wonder how many student visas there are annually here at U.S. colleges. Stephen Miller on with Sean last night. He was hot on fire. Play this soundbite here.
This is also a national security issue. We cannot have our universities becoming a hotbed for extremism, jihadism, and terrorist sympathy. Nor can we have universities that accept thousands of foreign students, allowing those students to participate in pro-Hamas activity.
So, Brooke, these are the 10 that apparently are under federal investigation right now. Put the list up there. It's Columbia, Harvard, NYU here in New York, UCLA, and USC, among others. Many of them, Trump said the other day, he said, if you're wearing a mask, that should be illegal. I don't know how you outlaw that. Maybe you can. But a lot of these students here in New York the other day, they're wearing the keffiyehs, and they wrap their entire head and face in them to conceal their identity.
Right. You can certainly outlaw concealing your identity while in the commission of a crime. And that's what's happening here. And we're very proud members of the Unmasked Hate campaign, which is now gaining a lot of support across the country and especially on our campuses, so that the schools enforce the student code. And if there is anyone who is concealing their identity while engaging in trespass, while trying to block other students from attending, while engaging in assault, which is happening all over these campuses, encampments, there's violent physical attacks against other students and also academia, you should have higher penalties if you are commissioning a crime while concealing your identity. That's absolutely legal.
Okay, Brooke, thanks. Brooke Goldstein, we're going to watch it, see what happens next. A lot of activity this past week there. Thanks for coming on. Thanks. 22 past now.